He really opened this game up. He's got 16 at the break, and it is a 20-point lead at the half on this significant holiday for the United States and a huge day of basketball for the long haul of the season so far. So my question for you guys is Oklahoma City gotten back to where they were defensively, or was it just bad Knicks offense?
I think it's a combination of both. When you look at the shot selection that the Knicks have right now, they're taking really tough shots, particularly in that first quarter. Now you got to give OKC some credit for challenging every shot and forcing the Knicks to take tough shots. But I look at the Knicks and I look at their ball movement and I look at their lack of ability to get to the basket and to create shots for others. Everything right now is forced, but again, you have to give OKC a lot of credit for what they're doing defensively.
Yeah, you look at OKC's defense. They switch when the opportunity arises. They stay in front of their guy, and they help when they have to. They don't overhelp. You can see that guy driving. Adams comes over. But they just switch a lot of stuff. They switch a lot of stuff and keep the people in front of you. If you keep people in front of you, eventually they have to shoot it. And then on drives, you don't see – a disciplined team doesn't run three guys to the ball. Right. A disciplined team runs one guy to the ball. They all fan out, take the shooters. OKC is a very, very good defensive team. But I agree with you, Zeke. New York's just feeding into it. My goodness, some of the shots they take, and some of the stuff they do, I'm like, wow, that's bad. But their defense is OKC is solid and has been solid all year. Every once in a while they'll have a stinker defensively, but that's the outlier. Whereas a year ago when I didn't trust them at all, they'd have stinker defensively every third game or second game.
Yeah, and they have the athleticism to switch.
Yeah.
So when they switch, they're not at a disadvantage.
Sure.
Even Adams, because Adams can get out and move his feet and everything else. So, their length, their athleticism right now is really bothering New York on the defensive side.
You make a good point about Adams. Early in the possession, they'll scheme the pick and roll. He'll drop. They usually blew it. Yeah. Late in possession, when he doesn't, they'll switch when he doesn't have to chase the guy all around because he's really good in a small area moving his feet. But you don't want him chasing guards off stuff. So they're disciplined enough to concept the pick and roll and with a scheme early in the clock and then late switch it. And that goes to show they have guys with some basketball IQ, which we talk about all the time. What gets you beat, Zeke?
Dumb people get you beat.
Yes, they do.
At 1 through 4, they got a bunch of
smart people.
Bunch of like-sized, switchable guys on the wings, 1 through 4. Paul George coming off the game winner Saturday against the Philadelphia 76ers. The Oklahoma City half-court offense is not great, typically. That's probably an understatement, but it looks a lot better with PG.
Yeah, when he's making shots, it all looks good. Oklahoma City's half-court offense, I actually like when they give the ball to Adams and they cut and they move off that a little bit. I don't like sometimes Paul George seems to take too much onto his own. But I will say that this year especially, Russell Westbrook is not getting those 2 and 3 and 4 layups a game like he was before. So consequently, his shooting percentages are down. He's just not able to get to the rack as quite as comfortably as he did in the past. So they're running their offense through Paul George. But I still like a nice 5-man offense where the ball moves a little bit more. They can get a little sticky with the ball, Oklahoma City can, with Russ and PG.
Yeah. I mean, I look at Westbrook right now, and I got to give him a lot of credit because he's allowed Paul George to continue to evolve and to become a leader and a scorer on that team. I thought the last couple of years he would resist and he would fight that whenever he had good players playing alongside of him. But, you mature with age, right? And he's continuing to get better. He's continuing to understand that you need everybody to win basketball games, not on the offensive side, but also on the defensive side. I also like that Westbrook has accepted the defensive challenge that Paul George has issued to the team of becoming better defenders. Now Westbrook is talking about being one of the elite defenders in the league.
By the way, Russ is sitting on exactly 18,000 points for his career as of that first half. He is just the second player in franchise history, going back to Seattle, to score 18,000 exclusively in that team's uniform, Sonics and now the Thunder. All teams playing today will wear a custom-designed Nike MLK Day warm-up shirt available on NBAstore.com. All NBA proceeds will be donated to the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis.